Hi, I'm Tiffany Grimes. I'm a student at Western Kentucky University in CFS 294, and this is my video presentation on assessment. Assessment is the process of gathering information about children from several different forms of evidence, then organizing and interpreting that information. The National Early Childhood Assessment Research Group summarized the purposes for appropriate uses of assessment. There are 4 purposes, and they are to promote children's learning and development, identify children for health and social services, monitor trends and evaluate programs and services, and assess academic achievement to hold individual students, teachers, and schools accountable. There are many different ways to gather information for assessment purposes. Some of the more common ones are observations, rating scales, or taking pictures, videotapes, or audio tapes, and through portfolios. For the health interview, I interviewed Tanya Smith, who is a physical therapist for the Jackson County Home Health Agency in McKee, Kentucky. Tanya uses 4 different assessments when evaluating children to see if they need services. She uses the Peabody Motor Development Guide, the Wisconsin Early Learning Developmental Evaluation, the Battelle, and the Sensory Profile. During our interview, Tanya explained that the Peabody was very easy to use and thorough, and it includes charts and information that can be shared with the parents. She gave me a copy of the chart for me to keep and look over. A typical assessment, she said, takes about an hour. She's usually unable to assess everything she needs in the first visit, but she continually assesses the individual she works with throughout the home visits. On the Peabody Motor Developmental Scale, when she is scoring the assessment, there are different numbers, 0, 1, 2, and 3, based on which activity the individual can do. At the end, the numbers are added up, and based on the age equivalent, that's how it's decided whether the individual needs services. This is a copy of the Peabody Motor Developmental Chart, which Tanya gives to the families she serves in order for them to get an idea of where the children they have are at for their age. Tanya explained that performing the assessment in the home can be a challenge because the parents have a big influence on the outcome of the assessment. They can either hinder or help the child. She educates the parents on what they can do to help the child overcome their delay and encourages them to participate in home visits. Tanya develops a home play plan for the parents to work with the children whenever she's not there. Tanya says the assessment allows her to see how delayed the child is and what age equivalent they are. This helps her to set up goals and care plans for the children. For the infant-toddler interview, I talked with Ashley Reams-Jones. She is a developmental interventionist for First Steps, and I consider her a friend. She was also the developmental interventionist for my son when he was in First Steps. Ashley uses the HELP Strengths Assessment, which stands for the Hawaii Early Learning Profiles. It is very easy to use and is curriculum-based, which helps in writing outcomes for the children. A typical assessment takes 1 to 2 hours, depending on the age and disability, but it has to be done in one visit, and no more than 2.5 hours are given per First Steps. However, the Help Strands instructions state that it should take place over the course of a couple of visits. Ashley explained that the assessment is scored using plus and minus signs. If the skill is present, the child gets a plus. If it's emerging, they get a plus and minus. And if it's not present, the child gets a minus. NA is used if the skill is not appropriate for the age or not viewed during the assessment. Then the age level of the skill is placed on the profile, and if they are less than their actual age in any area, they qualify for services. Ashley feels that doing the assessment in the home can be helpful because the children are in their natural environment. However, some children do perform better when they are away from their parents. Information is shared with the parents during IFSP meetings, and a copy of the report is given to the parents, and she does give recommendations as she feels necessary during the home visit. The parents are encouraged to participate in the assessment, and she involves them by performing a parent interview. Ashley told me that a few of the difficulties while assessing children can be getting the assessment done all at once and being accurate, because the children get tired and uncooperative, and if the parents show the children how to do an activity, it cannot be counted. This is a scan of the Help Strands Birth to 3 assessment, page 1, which just asks for some information about the child and the family, as well as where the assessment took place, and it also gives some instructions of how to perform the help strands as well as how to grade it. This is a scan of the actual assessment. This is the receptive language section, in which it just asks questions based on the age range that the child should be able to perform the skill, and you just put down the score and then transfer over to the profile for scoring. This is the Help Strands profile, in which the scores are put on, and then it is added up to see if the child needs services. For the Head Start interview, I talked with Miranda Smith, who is a Head Start teacher for Kentucky River Foothills and is currently employed at the Sand Gap Elementary School. Miranda said that Kentucky River Foothills uses the Dial 3 to assess the children and the creative curriculum as a developmental guide throughout the school year. She said some of the advantages to the Dial 3 are that it's broken down into different sections, motor concepts, and language, and that everything needed for the assessment is included in the kit. The assessment takes approximately 45 minutes to perform and is usually done with 3 different education staff members performing each different part. The assessment takes place at the school, and attachment issues can be a disadvantage, as well as getting the child to cooperate and focus on the task at hand. The parents are involved by filling out a parent questionnaire about the child's development. This is a picture of the Dial 3 kit. In it is included concepts, language, and motor. This is a picture of the front page of both the parent questionnaire and the Dial 3 record form that is used when performing the assessment. For the parent interview, I interviewed a parent that is enrolled in the Early Head Start program that I work with. She has 2 children, a 1-year-old and a 2.5-year-old, and her 1-year-old was a participant in First Steps until November 2009 for developmental delays and swallowing difficulties. The mother explained that she was concerned for her child because she was choking when she was eating, and she was also delayed in sitting up, so that's why the doctor made the recommendations to First Steps. She is included in the assessment by being asked questions about the child and helping the child do activities. The assessment was done through First Steps in her home, which she said was nice because she didn't have to go anywhere to receive the services. But it was a disadvantage because her older child proved to be a distraction to the process. She felt that the assessment enabled the child to receive the services she needed to overcome her delays. In reflecting on this assignment, I feel it's helped me to see how other professionals use assessments and how they feel about them, and it also helps me to see how parents feel about assessments. I think assessments are essential to measure a child's development and can be a great partnership between professionals and parents in getting the services for the children that they need in the early years of their life. As a parent-child educator for Early Head Start, I perform developmental screenings on the children I work with within 45 days of enrollment. My program, KCEOC Early Head Start, uses the Denver 2 as their developmental screening. I believe that the Denver 2 is a comprehensive look at development in the infant-toddler years, but it can be difficult to hold the child's attention for the length of time that is needed to perform the assessment due to just how young they are. The Denver features a parent questionnaire as well as a kit in which everything that you need to administer the screening is included, and it's small and very handy to just take along with you wherever you need to go.